Good evening, everyone. Um, Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Um, as we get ready to head into this new year, I just wanted to give you an encouraging word. Now, I know you're wondering why I got this thing on my head. Quite frankly, I haven't done anything with my hair, and I don't want y'all to think I'm this wild man or it was talking about me when it said a voice shouting in the wilderness. I do look a little wild tonight. So I got this to cover up, and so that way you all can't laugh at me. But what I wanted to talk to you tonight about is for the year 2021, let's speak positivity into our lives. I get it. 2020 was, boy, this was a year. That no other way you dress it up. This was a year. But something that I want to challenge us to think about is how much did we contribute by our simple words to the chaos of this year? If you really look at scripture tells you to speak over yourself, speak words of encouragement over yourself. You can either speak poison or fruit over your life. And so I pulled a couple of things out of Proverbs that really stuck out to me. And if you look at the Bible over and over, it tells you uh, that you need to watch what you're saying. That the power is in the tongue, whether we realize it or not, whether you believe it or not. It is in your tongue. You've seen these people where you got some people in your lives, and I hate to say it like this, but it is what it is. It's the truth. Where you ask them how they're doing, and they always got something negative to say. Hey, how's it going? Well, I got all these bills I need to pay, and I got this car note, and I got to go to work tonight, and then I'll be back at it again tomorrow morning. Instead of looking at it and saying, you know what, I got a job, and I got to pay these bills, but I have the money to pay it. There's a lot of people, especially in the middle of this pandemic, that cannot say that. We should be thankful that we are wearing ourselves out to actually get to pay our bills. Um, and I know that's a weird statement to say, but we gotta stop looking at this glass half full or half empty. We need to look at it half full. And I'm sorry about my words there, but I pulled some things out of Proverbs and a couple of New Living Translations. But tonight I wanted to be a little bit more detailed, so I went to the Message Bible because the Message Bible sounds like you and I just talking. And so I want to start off with Proverbs 12:18 in the New Living Translation says this: "The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongues of the wise bring healing." And so I want to go to that same verse um, in the Message to give you a better understanding. Rash language cuts and maims, but there is healing in the words of the wise. And earlier, it also says that well-spoken words bring satisfaction. Think about that. When you talk good, and you give people compliments and you talk about what good you have going on in your life, you feel a lot better. You may not know it because you never thought about paying attention to how you feel after you talk about the good that is going on around you, but you do. And have you ever been around somebody that just cuss and cuss, and they cuss for no reason at all? They just cuss just to do it. You know, you feel different when you're around them. Um, I'd be a liar if I didn't say that wasn't me at one point. I used to, and I feel a lot different now that I'm trying to apply and change some of the things about who I am and the way that I speak about things. I wouldn't. I'm not lying to you. I really feel different. I feel better, and I'm so thankful that I've done so. And so we're going to move on to Proverbs 15:4 in the New Living Translation that says, "The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit." And if I can get that in the Message, it's going to say, "Kind words heal and help. Cutting words wound and maim." Once again, those bad words, that negative energy that people put out into the world, it brings you down. It truly does. Um, and it's because we're connected to what's coming out of us, you know. And I don't know if you ever noticed, when you're around somebody that's bitter and angry, you start to take on them same traits. You don't even know why you're mad. You're mad because the person you're sitting next to is mad, and they've talked so much negativity around you until you start to pick up that instead of trying to reflect, hey, well, you know, this is the good that's of it. And so this last one that I saw that really got to me says, words satisfy the mind as much as fruit does the stomach. Good talk is as gratifying as a good harvest. Words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit you choose. And so, with that being said, I'm going to close it up here real fast. With that being said, I really want to challenge us as we go into the year 2021 to speak about the positive that's going on. Yeah, there are going to be some bad things that goes on, but guess what? In all seriousness, outside of this pandemic, 2020 has not been really that different than 2019, 2018, 2017. The only difference for us, listen to me, y'all, the only difference for us here in the United States is for the first time in our lifetimes, we've had to live like the rest of the world. They've been doing the mask ordinance. They've been doing the social distancing. The only thing different about 2020 is that we had to join them. I hate to say it like that, but sometimes it's got to be said. If it were not a pandemic in this year, I promise you, if it were not a pandemic in 2020, 2020 would not have been any more different than any of the other years that came before it. And that's fact. But the added chaos has been the words that we have allowed to come out of our mouth to define 2020. Instead of talking about all of the good that we've had, we've chosen to focus on the negative. But no more. I'm telling you, if you're watching this video here tonight, I encourage you to share it and to have your friends think on it as well. The only way that 2021 is going to be any better than 2020 is if we start to speak positive, speak godly things over our lives. And that is how we get through this. That is how we move forward. I know I get it. It's been different. And I always joke and say, well, I'm not joking. I always say it's been bad news ever since, Kobe died. You know, who knows? Maybe he was the glue holding the world together. But I never stopped to take the time to realize all of the good that I've had happen for me this year. You know, this is a glass half full, but in 2021, we were able to get a house. I know I keep talking about that. We were able to get a new puppy. We were able to get a new vehicle. You know, not all of it has been bad. I've chose in the past here, before I started realizing that I was contributing to it, I chose to focus on the negative. I gave it more attention than any of the good that has happened in my life. And I think that we have taken on the characteristics of looking at the bad news that we constantly watch on TV. We've chosen to focus on that negative, but we can stop that. We can change that right now. And then the year 2021, yes, listen, I know I said it earlier, but I got to say, I can't emphasize it enough. Bad things are going to happen. That is life. Bad things just happen. I can't explain it outside of when sin entered the world, so did chaos. It's always happened. It really has. The only difference is that we're living through a pandemic this year. But listen, I pray to God that this vaccine works, that everybody's good to go after this. And you'll see that literally the only difference was that we had to put a mask on. And the only thing that was different about that is it was the U.S. We had to join the rest of the world. That was it. So I love you all, and I hope that this video has challenged you all to think a little bit different than we typically would. But I love you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and we'll continue to do this thing. Listen, we're going to get back. We're going to touch the second part of the creation story in Genesis, and we're going to actually get to what I wanted to do on Christmas, but with the bumming in Nashville, it knocked my service out, so things didn't quite go the way that I wanted. So I love you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.